Good afternoon. This is the Saturday Boys podcast, a podcast. My name is John. I'm joined by
Brandon.
Nick.
Anthony.
And this is a horrible intro, but thank you guys for letting me try this. Today we also have a guest host. Will?
Oh, Will?
Maybe we can edit this out. You guys want to run a good one?
This is cool. Okay. Thanks for everyone for joining in with us on the Saturday Boys here. For this glorious intro with our first out of studio guest here, Will.
Hey, thanks guys for your patience. To help get set up and stuff. Thank you.
Yeah, it was fun. Oh, glorious tech issues. But yeah, we're here. We're going to talk about some games, movies, news, all over nice cold beers. What's everybody drinking today?
I'm drinking a Prairie Artisan Ale. It's a rainbow sherbet sour. It
Sounds
tastes like
fancy.
The can looks fancy. I don't know. It's like a little 12 ouncer, but I like it. It's like
Where's it from?
Somewhere.
Prairie. Yeah, no, I didn't actually. I think it's just Prairie.
Didn't even look up
the name of.
Prairie's the name of the brewery?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, Prairie. Well, okay, Krebs Brewing Company.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, yeah. That makes
Where's
sense.
that based out of? Does it say on there?
Yeah, McAllister, Oklahoma.
Nice. You got this at your beer shop, right?
I get this at the gas station.
Oh, gas station. Oh, is it at your
Nice,
special gas
nice.
station?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, they have a lot of specialty, kind of imported beers at that gas station. They have a little walk-in beer cave thing.
What made you find that gas station?
Coworkers.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have to know about this random ass Circle K out there in the middle of nowhere that sells amazing beer.
Well, that and on Untapped, when I check in that location.
Oh,
but
shit.
if I'm looking for a beer, if I'm oh, okay, I want one of the Drecker ones that I know is coming, then I can go on to Untapped to see where it dropped, and it'll show me where people have checked in that they've gotten it recently.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And you know that because you follow that brewery. That's they're dropping that, so you look for that type of beer.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Instagram helps too.
Instagram, yeah.
Yeah.
You got to know your sources to find your good beers.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. What you drinking, Anthony?
So it's a San Marcos, California beer from Wild Barrel Brewing. They do a lot of sours. It's the Pog, so it's passion fruit, orange, and guava. It is
Poggers.
dank as hell.
It is a good one.
So
I've had
good.
that one before.
Real at the hazy IPA.
No,
Oh,
it's a sour.
It's a sour.
Oh, it's a sour. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I had the IPA earlier.
I've got a hazy IPA. Holy crap! Yeah, I'm drinking the Hate to Love It from our boys Arizona Wilderness. It's a double IPA. What's the percentage on this guy? 8 point. Oh, it's only 8.5. That's not too bad.
That's healthy.
But no, it's super healthy. Yeah, that's a good average BMI.
Will,
That's not bad for a double.
Yeah. Will, what you drinking?
I'm drinking the Wonderland Nectarine Ale by Sierra Nevada Brewing. They're out of Chino, California. It's kind of hoppy, but also kind of citrusy in a nice way that sort of cuts through the hops. So pretty clean, pretty good. I like it.
Sounds good. I hate it when
They're,
the hops are way
7.5 ABV, whatever. So pretty good.
okay, yeah.
It's also in good shape.
Yeah, it's right there. It's a little under, but it's still it's a healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got them losing on the percentage, and mine's only 5.2.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
mine's
need to
pretty low.
give that boy some.
Right.
Yeah, I'm at 0.
Hops. Yeah, you're at
It's not a beer,
0.
that's
What?
smack.
Well, today I have a
I was wondering.
We lost the coaster.
I'm sorry. So from Dutch Bros Coffee Company of Medford, Oregon, I have a white chocolate mocha that is half melted with a color-changing straw. The straw's cold, so it's not going to turn back. Sorry, guys. But
I didn't know that was a thing. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Is the half melted by choice? Did you
it's just-
order it half melted?
We just got it a couple hours ago. So.
Oh, okay. I thought that was hey, can I get my iced coffee half melted, please?
No.
Shaken, not stirred.
Yeah, pretty much just one of those.
No, but this is from Medford, Oregon. And,
That's a long drive. I'm
Right?
surprised you got it down here so far.
No.
That's why it's half melted.
No,
Yeah,
that's where
it is.
Dutch Bros is based.
I know, we're giving you shit.
I know.
Do you guys, with your Dutch brothers, do you guys go in for the stickers of the month kind of thing?
I don't.
We're stickers?
Stickers?
So every first of the month, Dutch Brothers comes out with a unique sticker, and they're super limited edition. And my wife and I actually make a habit of like trying to go in first thing in the morning, the first of every month, to get a couple of the limited edition stickers.
Huh.
I didn't know that.
No, yeah.
Yeah,
no idea.
I haven't missed a month in like maybe 18 months.
Really?
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So you have 18 collectible stickers from Dutch Bros.
Yeah,
That's
as
pretty
well as
cool.
some of the like limited edition ones that are like, for whenever they're doing any kind of like special event for fundraising, things like that, they'll do a sticker as well.
What do you putting those stickers on?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the worst part. I just collect them.
Oh,
Dude, no, that
I do the
I
same
get that.
kind of
I
deal.
get
Yeah,
that.
no, I get a lot of vendor stickers from my work, and I'm just like, I have nothing else to put these.
Well,
on.
see, with the vendor stickers from work, I'm just like, I want to put this on a water bottle, but my water bottle's kind of dented, so I'm gonna hold off till my next
Yeah.
one. So I'll never put them on anything.
Yeah.
That's exactly where I'm at. I have a water bottle that I put like a bunch of good stickers on, and it got dropped a couple of times, and now they're starting to peel because you got to keep your water bottle clean. And so I was just kind of like, I don't have anything else to sticker.
Just
They're
keep them
getting
in a
collected.
binder.
Yeah, I was gonna say like a Pokemon card binder from back in the day with the little plastic sheets.
Dude.
I got a lot of those.
Yeah.
That would be fancy. This is a little bit more like there's a desk drawer I have that just kind of.
You gotta make like a collage of it, like
Yeah.
like a big like poster board and put
that'd
them
be
all
kinda
on.
cool.
Scrapbooking?
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Either or. Yeah. Well, it depends. Like you can use that like a backdrop too if you have anything. Like if you're recording something, that'd be cool too.
Yeah, we'd put a picture on the Saturday Boys Instagram.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah,
stick
I'll have to
collage,
put something
yeah.
together for you guys.
That's cool. I got a weird guilt trip though when I said Pokemon cards binder talking to you. I'm so sorry, Will. He
I
had
guess
a nice
should we
collection.
reveal who your guest is?
Yes, we'll review. Will is a 30-year-old male from Eastern
Oh
Washington.
God.
His zodiac sign, I believe he's a Sagittarius or a Capricorn. Which one is it?
I think I'm a Capricorn.
Yep. He is not an eligible bachelor. He is
He is
I'm
taken.
an ineligible bachelor.
ineligible. But yes, he's also my brother, so that's what.
That's what we're leading to.
It took so long to get there. Just like,
Yeah, we took the scenic route conversation.
30-year-old male,
what a way to start.
Caucasian.
Hey, thanks for doubling down on stating that fact.
Yeah.
God.
Just the matter-of-fact way that was just like the first thing off the cuff. It was like he was giving like a description of you,
Yeah.
like to the police. He was like, in the robbery, there was a 30-year-old male with him. He
This
had
is
a
what
wife.
we do.
Like,
Oh, God.
But he's married.
I know. I said with him, he has his wife.
I am.
Yep.
I am.
Oh, God.
Okay, sorry, Will. But yeah, about the Pokemon cards. Sorry I ruined your childhood collection of Pokemon cards. I just needed to get that off my chest. Okay.
How'd you do that?
Yeah, I was
though?
going to say, what did you do?
I would take them out of his sleeves whenever he wasn't home. And I would like play at them and look at them and shit, and I would mess up his order of how he would like organize them.
Bro.
You bent the card?
Dare you?
Right.
Oh, probably worse, dude. I probably lost some.
Worse?
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's
I would say the best but worst part is like he was always super like oblivious whenever I'd ask him. I'd be like, "Did you take him out again?" And he was just like,
No.
"No." What are you talking? No. And it was just like, "Oh, okay. I guess they came to life and walked away."
A Toy Story.
It's kind of one of those things where like when you're kids, you look at it and you're like, "Oh, this is the worst thing ever." And like looking back, it's like super nostalgic. It's just like, yeah, I remember. You know, can't stay mad forever.
you had a good collection, guy. You did.
Well, now you need to keep
Well,
your
it
sticker.
was kind of a shared collection.
Truth.
Definitely want to
You,
keep
you
that.
used it as your own.
Yeah, John, don't touch my cards.
I won't touch your cards, Anthony. Don't worry. Don't tell me where they are, though. That's the trick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just
somewhere.
can't let them
You'll
find
find
out.
me at like 3 a.m. in your room here, just like,
Plan.
And then you're like, I
I
found
just got to
him.
take them out of their case and look at them.
yeah, dude, that's what I wanted to do.
Admire them.
Oh, God. Any of us got any not so important news going on this week?
Yeah, I have one article.
All right, what you got?
So, this is from Fox. Mafia fugitive caught after YouTube cooking show accidentally reveals his identity.
Was it K?
No.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Then below it just says man's love for Italian cuisine tipped off law enforcement.
Oh no.
Oh,
Italian food can do that too.
there goes my potential future career in the mob. Since
But yeah, he so it's this guy that he was a big mafia, like drug trafficking, you know. You know.
You know, as you do in the mafia.
As you do.
I play mafia too. I get it.
Yeah. So he fled the country, but he was doing YouTube videos, and then they found him in the Dominican Republic, cooking cooking Italian food on a YouTube channel.
All right.
He couldn't help himself.
You
There's
flee the
passion.
mafia. You can, you know, you don't have to put your cooking show on YouTube.
Yeah, you do.
But the revenue.
yeah, you do nowadays.
You do.
Need the head revenue.
Yep.
I mean,
There can only be one.
he,
'Kay.
he had some
That's
really
true.
good like fettuccine Alfredo that just needed to be shared with the
Yeah,
world.
the new lasagna episode hurt my
Are the
soul.
videos still up?
I don't know. That is a good one. Let me.
Will, we got to introduce you to Kay's cooking here soon. It's a
Yeah,
a
it
treat.
changes your
A
life.
mafia fugitive couldn't take the heat, so he went to the kitchen.
oh my god.
Yes.
Here, let's see. Mark Farron Claude Biart. Jesus, that's a fucking name.
I mean, doesn't really scream mafioso off the top.
No, it
there.
doesn't.
No, it really doesn't.
Like the fact that the cooking career is what kind of gave him away. I don't know if I can really fault the cops on this one.
No.
But that means his channel must have gotten big enough. He was doing some pretty decent cooking, you know? Or I don't know, maybe not.
Oh, yeah.
His is pretty big. She doesn't do decent cooking. Never mind.
What are you talking about? She's the best.
Dude, other than watching an episode like sober for the first time, that shit ain't.
I mean, she's the only cooking channel on YouTube that I've actually watched probably over 70% of the content.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So-
we're up there between both channels.
And she has 2 channels.
Oh, he hid his face in the videos, but he did not hide his tattoos.
Oh, that's where he messed up.
He was trafficking cocaine into the Netherlands.
Oh, my guy.
Yeah.
Real quick, I'm going to plug Chef John, foodwishes.com, best YouTube cooking channel there.
Chef John?
Not associated.
No, not at all. Not
I
at
thought
all.
we were about to
Just,
make an announcement.
If you guys are
Right.
looking for cooking on YouTube, that's where you go.
Can we also recommend to you Kay's cooking?
Yeah, I will check it out.
She's
I've
got-
heard it's not
please.
good when you're sober.
No.
Yeah, that is true. Just because you overanalyze it, you can't just enjoy it.
Just watch the Rice Krispies one.
Oh.
No,
Okay.
I haven't watched that
or
one.
any
out
of the
my own
pasta
fear.
ones. Anything that involves pasta in any way possible.
Or rice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or anything.
Yeah.
That's
I agree with that.
Yeah, I was about to say we're about to
Never
cover
mind.
all the food pyramid here.
Just
1 second.
be
It's
inebriated
me.
in some way.
We'll get to it one day.
tuned it in.
We'll get to it one day.
You get it.
But yeah, John, you got a story?
I got 2 of them actually. I was gonna ask if any of you guys also had maybe any news.
No, we're
What
good.
about Will?
Yeah,
Ooh.
I've got nothing.
Great
Fake out,
setup.
though. Oh, no.
All right, my first one. This is kind of fun. This comes from Japan, one of the prefectures, which is like the states or the provinces there. Banned walking while on the escalator.
Hokkaido?
It actually might have been.
They didn't want people going super speedy up the escalator.
That's not the best part.
No. Say Saitama.
Saitama?
Yeah. yeah.
I love that show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, that's the only way I knew it. I was like,
Exactly. I was like,
Yeah.
One
Season
Punch
3. Season. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, their prefectural assembly enacted a draft ordinance that requires riders on escalators to stand in place rather than attempting to hurriedly walk up or down while it is still in motion.
That sounds very
Hurriedly.
Japanese.
Yeah.
Hurriedly walk up and down.
That's
not
like the
just,
best
walk
part.
up
Just like
and
in the
down.
airport when
Hurriedly.
you have like the people mover.
Well, dude, and it brought up a point I was going to ask you guys. Do you get pissed off when you're trying to stand and you can tell someone behind you wants to like book it?
No, I take joy out of that.
Yeah.
You just
I'm
stand
like,
a certain way. It just like
fuck
it's like
you.
on the when you're on the road. You just stand to the side and just let people walk up.
Well-
like when people stagger, it's like they're the assholes.
I hate to say this, but I'm the dude on the freeway where if I'm in like the left 2 lanes and I can tell a guy's trying to get around me, like because the car in the left lane ahead of me is going, I'll go and match that car's speed, so I'll block the fucker in.
You're a
I'm that
passhole is
dude.
what I call
Yes,
it.
I'm a passhole. I'll do it because after dealing with a small parking lot. If you got a big ass truck,
Yeah.
sorry, being a parking lot person, not fun. So
Parking lots.
Exactly.
I, for one, think having to stand still on the escalator, I'm against it because it's fun as hell and it's efficient time-wise to just be able to walk.
Yeah, but it messes up other people's schedule, and that's the big Japanese thing is scheduling and timing and everything.
But I mean, isn't it just like an established thing? It's like if you want to stand you to the right, and if you want to walk you to the left.
Dang, I didn't know that. No.
Like
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought it was.
That's kind of how
I thought that was
always
just
did
a
the
universal
escalator.
thing.
I don't know.
But
Different cultures, different rules.
Right.
I don't know. Does
Well,
the article
they
go
drive
into
on
that?
the other side, so maybe they.
well, okay, so flip it. But I guess the idea it's like, wouldn't you enact something like that? Because you would think efficiency like that. I guess that's
But maybe not
the main
everybody
point.
can run up the escalator.
Well, yeah. Well, then you stand to one side, and then people that can.
Japanese escalator,
I
everything's
was gonna
tiny
say
in
they
Japan.
could have thinner
Well, that's true.
escalators, so
Okay.
you might
If
not
that's
be
the
able
case,
to fit
then I
two
totally
people
understand.
side by side.
Then that I totally understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. If there's room, then I don't
Leapfrog.
see the point.
Leapfrog.
Actually, that's the real.
Over your shoulder.
Will, what's your take? Stand or jog or walk or?
Leapfrog.
It kind of depends on, the situation. If it's a really long escalator, I mean, I'm not mountain climbing that thing. Like, I'm probably just going to chill for most of the escalation. But
show
if it's
up?
like a short one, I'm going to walk up it. And yeah, I thought it was always kind of like the stand to the right, walk to the left kind of thing.
I guess I haven't seen the size. Like, if there probably is a size difference, because that would make sense at least.
I would assume so.
'Cause I feel
You
like-
have to fit a lot more population, a lot smaller of an
Everything's
area.
tinier in Japan.
Right. Which-
Yeah, well, you have a lot less area to work with and a lot, like a really big population.
Okay. I concede.
Well,
That was easy.
my other news, less of a debate with this one, but more interesting. So we're all familiar with Tom DeLonge and
Yeah.
his work that he's been doing.
I know. I was going to let it go.
No,
DeLong?
Well, yeah,
This
what's his
isn't
last
like
name?
the Macaulay thing again.
I was literally
I
gonna
don't know
say
where
it.
this go. But Flynn,
The call outs to the previous
you guys
episode.
got me all shit. Okay, hold on now. It's
okay.
Yeah. So you know his organization he's done, like all the work. It's getting really big. They're about to like launch a bunch of content this week, but the former director of the DoD retired, I think, last month, and now works for his company. So the Department of Defense, the dude works with.
Yeah, they've been getting a lot.
Well,
yeah,
this month they confirmed that UFOs are real.
I
I thought that was like last year.
That was last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the DoD guy's been working for him for about a year now.
Yeah.
Oh shit! This article's dated. Oh. Dude, I was all excited about this one.
Same
no.
time last year. They
Oh.
are
about
about
to
to do
check the year?
something though.
Yeah, but is that when they did
Oh,
the...
so he left a while ago.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I was so excited. I was like this. Oh, okay.
Is that March of 2020? Is the...
Damn it, yeah.
Goddamn Tom.
Well, they said
DeLonge.
April. They said April, and I was like, oh, it's just now April. Like,
April Fools!
no, this is real.
I
This
know,
is-
it's still
I'm
real,
just-
but,
I just can't read.
wrong time.
Yeah.
But hey, it's
Still cool- still
yeah,
cool
news is still
facts.
happening.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that it's a year later and like people still don't give a shit.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we kind of never came around to that after COVID. We all just kind of,
It's like, oh, okay,
yeah.
all right,
Well, we're still in
Do you
COVID.
think
Well,
at some point
crawling out
these,
slowly.
these aliens saw our planet and they were like, you know what? I guess, cat's out of the bag. Let's go visit. And they're like, oh, well, pump the brakes. They've got something going on down there. Let's
Well,
let's
maybe
not go visit here.
maybe they don't perceive time as we do. They see their whole future and everything. They see their own past, present, and so they know that if they go to Earth, good shit ain't gonna happen. They'll just watch from away.
Right.
So it's like interstellar style fourth dimension.
I was trying to do a Dr. Manhattan reference, but that also works.
I see. Oh, yeah.
But they can only see their past,
Yeah.
present, future.
That is a good movie, isn't it?
Isn't it though?
Isn't it?
Isn't it?
It's a really good graphic novel too. Eventually,
Yeah.
I'll finish it.
I wonder if we should talk about that
Yeah.
today.
I think so. Yeah.
I guess that segues us
Who
into our
will
main
talk
event
about
tonight.
the Watchmen?
Who will talk about them?
Well,
The boys
I thought we were gonna make the
watched.
joke. Who watches the Saturday Boys?
Who will watch the Saturday Boys?
Who will watch the Saturday?
The Watch
who-
Boys?
I can't even talk. Who will watch the Saturday Boys who talk about the Watchmen?
We have 23 views
Funny
on one of
enough,
our
I
videos.
spent like probably an hour thinking of the title for this episode, a lot of them just sound really inappropriate. Like it's just inadvertent. It's like, damn it, because they're clever, but then you're like,
NSFW.
yeah, and it gives off the wrong impression about what we do.
Oh.
Yeah, because
tell me some of these ideas.
It's like, oof.
Yeah,
there's a lot of unfortunately easy ways to make it sound way wrong. So that's the unfortunate part. So those are all scrapped.
Gosh.
Yeah, I'll take that.
So the
I'll take that one
movie-
from you, bud.
Yes. Going into the movie, I was learning, talking beforehand, I'm the only one that watched the ultimate cut edition of it.
I've seen it.
You've seen
I
it,
just didn't
yeah.
watch
Not recently.
it this week.
I know. I got you.
I watched the Ultimate Cut
Yeah.
last night, and it was long.
Yeah, like 4 hours, give or take.
3.5, I think I clocked it at. Yeah, it was
Long.
an experience.
Right?
I had to do it in 2 sessions.
Question for you, Will, since you just watched it. I don't know if you already knew this or not, but did you realize that Gerard Butler is the narrator for The Black Freighter?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
I remember that getting brought up like when the movie first came out or something like that, and I was like, oh.
Who
That's
promised him the role? Was it Zack Snyder?
Yeah.
Promised him
Was
a
it?
role.
Yeah.
Who was he supposed to be? Like,
I don't know.
because
If
with Gerard Butler,
could be in the movie.
he could be
I
the
don't know.
comedian.
I was picturing the comedian for him more so.
Yeah.
At least in my head.
I don't know if he could be the comedian though, because to be honest,
who else
what's
would he
his
be?
name? Who played Negan or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Walking Dead.
He did a really
So
good
good.
job.
He killed that
think,
role.
I think it was. Is it Jeffrey Dean Morgan?
Yeah.
I thought he was so good as the comedian in this role because even without like a second's worth of dialogue, he comes across as like creepy asshole.
Mhm.
Right.
Like there's just something about his presence on screen that comes across as that. So like, I feel like for the role of the comedian, he fit the bill really well.
Oh yeah.
That's the only other character he could have been Night Owl, I guess. 'Cause
Yeah.
I can't see him
wouldn't
as Dr.
see-
Manhattan
Yeah.
or Rorschach. Like I think either one. Like I feel like of those three, like he could more easily be Night Owl.
I think I like Patrick Wilson as Night Owl.
I did too. I thought that was really
Yeah, that was a good cast.
Yeah.
Oh, this film had real good casting, real good music. This is just
Oh,
a
the
very
music,
well directed film.
Right.
This is, gosh, yeah. So I was pretty new to Watchmen in high school when this came out, and I got the comic book beforehand and I read it because I knew the movie was coming out. But I wasn't 17 yet. I think. No, I wasn't able to see it because I had to go with my brother to go see the film. He let me in, and we got like the tail end of like went inside of AMC at some like 3 p.m. showing, and yeah, like did you guys read the comic books before you saw the movie?
Yeah.
No.
no, not me.
No.
I did purely because like I completely the movie came out the year I graduated high school, but I heard about it. I heard people saying it was a good movie. I just never went and saw it. And then years later, I was actually talking to my brother John, and he was like, "Have you ever read the graphic novel?" And I was like, "No, but I think I need to." And so I read the graphic novel first, and then was like, "Hey, I like that. Let's watch the movie." And then watched the movie.
Nice.
Yeah. So thank you.
Oh, no, yeah. You're welcome, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm just late to it too, though. But I'm realizing it makes sense because, yeah, maybe 5 years ago was my introduction. So my wife is a huge fan, and she's the one that showed me the movie, and then I learned more about it. But that makes sense because it just made me feel old. Just because I was like, well, that's years now. Yeah.
I'm
It's been
sorry.
years.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
I had a
Speaking
similar-
of time,
Yeah.
Do you?
I showed it. To you, or-
No, I had a similar experience.
Yeah.
I read the book in junior high
Yeah.
because I
Because
was
you
on
had a big Alan Moore kick there for a bit.
I
You read
was.
like From Hell.
V for Vendetta, Watchmen, Swamp Thing. But yeah, no, I read a bunch of those and then I watched the movie in theaters. So that was
Nice,
cool
yeah.
to see.
Did you come with me, my brother? I think you were
I
there.
did. I did. I went with you. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we were the only people in the theater because it was like a 3 p.m. AMC showing at the movie at the tail end of its run because it had been out for a couple months. And God, that sex scene was so awkward.
It was very awkward.
I just want to get it out of the bag. I love this
Like-
movie's soundtrack. I hate the original version of Hallelujah, and I hate it over that sex scene.
Yeah.
can we talk about some of the like intentionally campy elements of what is otherwise a pretty dark film thematically.
Wait,
Like, especially with that sex scene,
she hits the flamethrower.
you know,
button.
at the
God.
culmination of it, when she hits the button to launch the flamethrower on the vehicle.
Yep.
Like,
Oh
Yep.
god.
And that dude thinks it's just like a romantic like moon in the sky or something, and it's like,
yeah.
Bernie.
Yeah.
yeah. Like, huh.
I feel like that scene didn't need to.
I kind of appreciated it though, to be honest. I kind
No,
of like
as a
that.
film,
Same. Same.
it's a very interesting film choice. It's just not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
And I think that was kind of almost on purpose.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, that's what I mean. Is I
God.
think it was camp for the sake of camp, not like, oh, this will definitely heighten, you know,
Yeah.
the viewer's
Like it
ability
didn't
to
add
appreciate
anything.
the
It was
plot.
just a scene.
It was like in there to sort of break the tension of the dark nature of the film.
Okay, I get that.
ugh.
It made it feel warm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pun intended.
All right.
All right.
I forced that one. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Make it feel warm.
Gosh. But yeah.
Stretch.
Stretch Armstrong.
I'm gonna pull up a quick summary here of the film. If you guys just want to vamp for a moment.
So, who's everybody's favorite character? Like,
Oh, we're
from
gonna start with that.
Yeah,
I was
we're
okay.
waiting on that.
I didn't know if we were gonna start with that or go into that because that's a debate. Favorite
Yes.
character? Because I was thinking favorite character for the main Watchmen of the series and then the Minutemen. We can go into both groups.
I didn't think about that. Okay.
That's true.
Yeah.
Do we? Should we wait on that one? You think?
That one can get hairy quick though.
That's what I was
wondering,
saying.
like,
That
should
I was thinking. We could start with
We
that.
can start.
I mean,
We can start.
okay.
Okay.
The obvious answer is Dr. Manhattan, but
Oh, okay. We're starting off hot.
I know
Alright.
Anthony's going Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah.
You
It's
guys
Dr.
both.
Manhattan.
Okay, so
Rorschach is a close second,
okay.
but Dr. Manhattan though.
So we have two out of the group for Manhattan so far. Nick.
My personal favorite is Rorschach. Just getting it out there.
Brandon.
Man, I was thinking about this for a minute. I think I'm probably in order. It would be Rorschach, Dr. Manhattan, and then I don't like the comedian, but I like the comedian.
Dude, I was gonna have the
It's-
same point. So mine's a tie between Night Owl and the comedian, and it's like the comedian. You don't want to like him. He's horrible. He's an asshole.
Yeah.
But there's something about him too that it's like I think he's meant as a metaphor for like the U.S.
Like he's a real character. Like,
He's a real
yeah,
character.
He really is social commentary
Yeah.
on just like
On everything.
everything.
Yeah.
Like, he really is like he doesn't and nothing's fake. Kind of like with Rorschach too. It's like almost like he's like a parallel to some degree of Rorschach.
Yeah.
But like he just kind of goes with all the bad stuff, and Rorschach's trying to eliminate it. But comedian just accepts the bad in the world and just kind of goes with it.
Well, yeah, and that's why it's a weird contrast. My other favorite, Night Owl, is because it's the
Just to give you guys a heads up, every summary I'm pulling up is like 6 paragraphs long.
Oh,
I'm
shit.
just like, shh.
That's fair. I mean, the
Sounds
shortest
about
version
right.
of the
I
movie
can
is like,
give a good synopsis for you.
If you
Okay,
got it,
okay,
we'll
yeah,
go
yeah,
for it.
Hold on,
here.
Will. What's
In
your favorite
1985,
Oh, wait.
where former superheroes exist, the murder of a colleague sends active vigilante Rorschach into his own sprawling investigation, uncovering something that could completely change the course of history as we know it.
Okay.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
not wrong. Is that from the back of the DVD?
That's from IMDb.
Oh, okay.
oh, okay.
All right. IMDb brings
Thanks,
up the
Thank
thing.
you.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Will, back to who's
so
your
Will,
favorite Watchmen?
Of the original team. Like not the
so
original main team.
I love to hate the comedian because, in my opinion, he sort of inadvertently sets up the plot for the sort of like unveil of the big secret towards the end of the film.
Because he decides to break and go talk to
Say that
Moloch?
again?
Because he decides to go talk to Moloch and everything?
No, I feel like the fact that he kind of looks at society through that comedy, like that dark comedy
joke.
sort of lens of like society is at the point where like it just needs some sort of big undoing, because otherwise, like, you know, I think the quote is something along the lines of like, who are we saving them from? And he's like, from themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And that ends up being sort of the theme for I can never pronounce it right. Adrian Voight is
Veidt.
Ozymandias.
Yeah, Veidt.
Ozymandias.
Mandius.
But
yeah.
the smart guy. It sets up like that whole kind of premise of like we need to hurt society to fix society, and it's like it's not a nice thing, but it is the way that will actually lead to peace, even though it's peace through
Violence.
definitely not the way anyone would have tried doing it in a right state of mind.
Ooh. And that's where we get
And
into the heavy.
And I feel like the comedian's entire viewpoint is, kind of a premise to that mode of action that Ozymandias goes with.
I get that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But my favorite character is definitely got to be Night Owl.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So we got like 2 for Night Owl,
Yep.
Rorschach, Dr. Manhattan. Who was yours, Brandon? I'm sorry.
Rorschach.
Okay. Cool. All right.
That sets it up pretty well for.
I know. I was about to say it's a nice even split mostly for there, but out of the original Minutemen, I know we don't learn a lot about a lot of them, so that kind of sadly narrows it down to only a couple of the original Minutemen, like Hollis Mason, Laurie's mom, Sally.
Sally, yeah.
The comedian again, the older comedian, or younger comedian, I guess, and then
Youngest of the group.
Yeah, youngest of the group. He always called the other people old. Because it was the comedian a cop too? I didn't reread Hollis Mason's book in the graphic novel when I read through it this last time.
I didn't. I think I unfortunately, because of time constraints, I had to skip the Hollis Mason parts in the graphic novel. But I think in the actual graphic novel itself, it didn't mention that.
I didn't think he was a cop, but I thought he was in the war.
I feel like he had some.
He was in Vietnam,
but that was post
with
the
Watchmen,
Minutemen. Yeah, that was with the second group of Watchmen. Because
Yeah,
I know
'cause
it was Hollis Mason and a lot of his police buddies that set up the first group. Because that was something that's kind of cool about what the movie does is they take some of the extra stuff that is in Watchmen. Because Watchmen is set up in a very interesting way throughout all the chapters. They add extra stories, they have pages of actual written text from Hollis Mason's book throughout that. And in the movie, in order to get some of that stuff in, they add scenes of Hollis talking with extra stuff that came from that journal that wasn't explicitly in the graphic novel, like him talking about his police buddies and stuff. That was from like that first chapter that you read his story. Yeah.
Something I think is funny. I don't know why it popped into my head right now.
Okay.
Richard Nixon being on his 5th term.
Yep.
Oh,
as president.
Yeah.
I was like, that kills me, dude. That's fucking
It's
God.
so gold. And then the whole.
I also love in the movie how they do him dirty with like that gregariously large nose.
That
Right.
giant.
Yeah.
Obviously
dude.
big.
That was something I
it's
wanted
just
to
like,
talk about.
That's beautiful.
Like the celebrity, like the CGI on JF Kennedy actually is pretty good. And the
Yeah, Kennedy
handshake
was
with
good.
Right.
Yeah, with the intro. Yeah,
Yep.
I thought so as well.
favorite intro to any movie.
It's so,
I
so iconic.
love the intro to watch.
The
Soundtrack.
best fucking part
Dude,
of the movie.
are we gonna want to
song
get to the
choices.
soundtrack already?
Oh,
the soundtrack
so
is
good.
So good.
Like literally
Minus
every
the
single
original
song.
cover of Hallelujah.
Okay. So 90% of the songs.
90% of it. MCR at the end there with their own cover.
Okay, so this is cool.
Okay.
Okay, so this is cool.
Okay, so this is cool.
I heard
Sorry.
I heard our butt.
Our butt.
Oh, but
We talking Pokemon again? Sorry.
Arbuck.
Fun fact.
My bad.
Cobra backwards.
My mistake on the audio there.
And Muck backwards.
Stop. No, you're supposed to go and Ekans backwards. Is
Okay,
snake.
snake, yep.
Right?
That just derailed me so
Abyss
hard I forgot about what I was talking about.
I'm
The
sorry.
soundtrack?
Soundtrack, yeah.
Yes.
90%.
90%
solid.
of it being solid. Yes.
Yeah.
God.
The soundtrack.
But it's cool that they added a lot of the stuff that they do, the quotes from Alan Moore at the end of the chapters. Like they did Bob Dylan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
I really like those. I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
They did the version of Sound of Silence that got popular, the one that Simon and Garfunkel hated. But it's my favorite version of the song.
It was just
Yeah, likewise.
the music matching too to like the
Well, yeah.
The
it was-
tones of the
oh
scenes.
dude,
It was
just so good.
Nothing seemed. It was all perfectly like
Perfect.
done. Like it was just everything matched like what the situation.
The only one that I felt was a little out of place was All Along the Watchtower. At the end, while they're going to Antarctica.
Yeah, it's a bit on the nose.
I feel like that. Yeah, I feel like that, and I guess like because I feel like it's such of all the songs, it's like a really big hype one too, because it kind of is building up to that because that's such a pivotal part.
It was
too.
just for the whole scene of them crashing the Archie into the iceberg
That's
at the end
true.
there, and it's like I didn't feel super tense. Was that in the comic? I don't remember. The whole crashing.
I didn't get
Doesn't.
to-
That seems like a movie thing to me, to be honest. I didn't get to the end of that comic this week, so it took a lot longer to read than I thought.
Right? John, okay, so I'm a slow reader, but it took me a fair amount of time to get to where I did. So I think it was
Alan Moore's
the
writing
chapter
is dense.
5. I got to but it's also the artwork too. I think if I was just reading it, I would have got a lot further. I got to like chapter 5 in about 3 hours. It takes a bit. Like honestly, I think it's gonna like to finish it. It's probably gonna take me like 7.5 hours.
It is okay. It is.
Oh yeah, the crash.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Oh.
Okay.
I thought I
just don't-
remembered it in there, but
Yeah, it's only like a page, so it's not as drawn
As
out.
pronounced.
Is it a movie?
It
Yeah.
doesn't have Jimi Hendrix blaring his.
But I still
guitar.
like it too because it's like I guess it's just like leading to what's like about to come, and then just like having that whole situation like with Lori and John on Mars. Like I don't know, something about that like transition. I really liked it.
Yeah, it was nice. It just gave me maybe it's Forrest Gump ruining it because they also use that song when the Hueys are flying in when they're in Vietnam.
yeah.
And it's like, yeah. If you didn't see one, it would have been perfect. Like pick one. Like use of that song.
Forrest Gump or Watchmen, take your choice.
Oh, what was it?
Do
Two.
you guys?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, do you guys remember the trailer
Ooh.
that had "Take a Bow" by Muse?
I think
For
I do,
Watchmen?
yeah.
No, actually.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
no,
it was
I
like
never saw
the
that.
one that got played the most on like TV
Mhm.
for like the commercials hype in the movie. And I remember hearing that song and seeing it like cinematically set for like the trailer, and I was like, who is this song by? Like, this sounds amazing, and that's actually the reason I started listening to Muse.
Crazy.
Oh,
wait,
shit.
which song is it again?
Yeah, Take a Bow.
Because that's not on the actual soundtrack for the
Right.
film.
And
Sometimes,
yeah, exactly. I remember
yeah.
seeing the movie finally and been like, finally, it's coming full circle. Like, I'll get to see, because Muse is one of my favorite bands.
Dude, Muse.
It's one of
And I was
Brandon's
like,
too.
I finally get
Dude,
to
love that
see,
band.
you know,
Oh,
this song in the movie.
Right.
And then, like, watching the movie, I was like, oh, it's
Where is
not
it?
on there.
Guardians of the Galaxy did that too. But at least the song, I forgot which one Guardians of the Galaxy had in its trailer. But it's actually on the soundtrack. So in my brain, I think of it as part of like the greatest hits. But it was like
okay.
Spirit in the Sky or something was just for the trailer. It wasn't in the actual film. I think that's the one that it is.
I thought that was in the movie.
I don't remember. It's one of the songs
Right.
on the Guardians soundtrack. But no, we could have put Muse on the soundtrack, but they didn't.
But speaking of like
Yeah.
Muse,
Like-
Guitar Hero is like where I first heard that band because Knights of Sidonia.
Really?
And I went down the
Oh,
rabbit
Knights of
hole.
Sidonia is a
Yeah.
great one. I heard it from my wife first before I didn't listen to Muse before that.
But no,
so.
like guitar. That's why I think Guitar Hero because I love Muse. They're so good.
Oh, Muse is great.
Right.
We're all huge fans
Yeah.
of Muse here.
There's definitely
Nice,
no one in the
nice.
room that's like on the vocalist.
Yeah, there's nobody in this room that doesn't like Muse.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
no one.
How does it feel, Mr. Nirvana?
I don't know. I
Man,
guess I can relate on this one to you.
I know. Oh, Will actually likes Pearl Jam, though. Not that
Oh.
we're going to do this today, but
We're not doing, no. No.
Yeah, you don't.
That
wanna-
is another Will.
You don't want to
Not
dive
the,
into this
not the
one. I'll
Will that
rip you
gets
apart right
on
now, Will.
podcasts about Watchmen.
Exactly.
God.
okay.
Derailed.
So I'll rip you a new one. You start talking Pearl Jam. On these.
But
rip me.
Put you in the
a fun
ground.
fact I read since we're talking about like all that. So I'm guessing I'm a part of this trivia is that trailer. When it dropped, the sales of Watchmen, the graphic novel, like boosted significantly, so much that like Barnes and Noble's sold out of all of their copies of it, like all their print copies in stores. And I was probably a part of that. I probably didn't get it until the trailer came out. But yeah, I made it number 1 on the bestsellers list again for a week after the trailer dropped.
Wow.
You can thank
I mean,
me for that.
That probably has something to do with the fact that, you know, Watchmen, directed by Zack Snyder, coming off the heels of 300, because that was a huge success with, I guess, like the graphic novel scene for that movie when that movie came out.
It basically gave him the budget and like the Hollywood backing to okay, we'll let
Right.
you do, because I don't know if it was Zack Snyder, but because I said our history coming into it, we weren't fans who knew of this for a long time before the movie came out. Like for me at least, like I wasn't like a huge fan of it before I heard there was a movie coming out. So I know that the movie had a very troubled development for over many years trying to come out. and that the fan base really wanted a good one because they don't even mention Alan Moore.
Well, that's the whole thing. He didn't want his name tied to it.
He didn't want his name.
His whole thing was like, this is something that can't be adapted for the movies, like, or for the big screen. Like, he was very adamant.
It's not
about
a
that.
Hollywood film.
Like, he was like, it can't be done. So like, that's why he didn't want his name attached to it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, he's uncredited on the film.
Yep.
Right.
Like Dave Gibbons. Excuse me.
That's it.
Dave
That's the
Gibbons
artist.
is credited, but Alan Moore was not credited. So,
Which is crazy considering this is like pretty much the movie.
It's
Well,
really
yeah.
close.
Another thing that I read is that when they started filming, Zack Snyder handed out the scripts and copies of the graphic novel to the crew, and he's like, "Here, you can do it, and if you want to use the graphic novel dialogue, go for it."
Mm-hmm.
That's why so much of the dialogue is basically copy and paste. It's
Yeah.
well written, and they kept the story similar enough to where they could just copy paste. He intentionally took the frames of the graphic novel as storyboards. There are so many like frame for frame perfect recreation shots in the
like,
film.
the comedian being thrown through the glass, ripped right out of the
Yep.
novel. Like, and it's like I appreciate that because like most of it didn't need to be changed, like what I read. So it's like rereading it as it was literally just getting like just a book version of the movie. Like it was crazy how similar it really
I wonder
is.
how much he had to fight to get that. It's like Zack Snyder as like a director to have it be as similar, because a lot of times they want to adapt it or do something different, you know. And like Hollywood is big on like, oh, this won't appeal, let's change it to appeal. I wonder how hard Zack Snyder had to fight to get it as close as he did.
And part of me feels
You
like
know,
from reading it that he didn't need to, because like it presented like what I've read, like the way it was presented, it didn't seem to need any change because it had so much that going for it that could be adapted well to the screen, even though like Alan Moore said to the
Had
contrary.
no trust in it.
Yeah, like it was done really
I
well.
feel like as well. Nowadays, we kind of look at this in the light of like other superhero movies that have come out since.
Truth.
But back then, during the production of this movie, there wasn't really much precedent for this film.
No,
you know,
there,
like
there
there
wasn't
is
an
nowadays.
MCU. There
No.
was just Iron Man.
Yeah, exactly. And so I feel like back then, adaptability and palatability for audience, I don't think those really came into play as largely as they do now, whereas everything needs to sort of go through a much more sensitive political lens.
And it's not
you
a
know,
franchise.
Yeah.
They don't have to worry
that as
about other
well.
films.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't think it could have been made today.
Yeah.
Oh, I
no.
definitely don't think it could have been made today, but that's always a hard argument to make.
I feel like
Yeah.
to some degree it could, because Deadpool did have
But
great
how
strides.
hard Ryan Reynolds had to fight
Yeah.
to
That's
make
true.
that. That's what I'm saying. That's what I
So
was
it wouldn't be
wondering.
easy, but I think it could happen today, but not as easily as it did at the time of its making.
I think it's
Yeah.
more applicable today, but I think it would have been harder to make today.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
I think we just would have had to adapt it a little bit more. I think.
But that's where that's where
Speaking of the adaptations, do we want to get into the changes between the comic book and the movie?
Ooh,
Go into those differences?
yeah, it's a good transition
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when getting something like a lot of stuff, the biggest other comparison I could think is the V for Vendetta, which had major changes from
Yeah, that
the
was
Alan Moore film to that. This had a lot less changes. The biggest change, though, was like, since I only read the graphic novel coming up to it a little bit, I didn't really care about this biggest change that they did. They basically changed the whole climax of the whole reason for the climax at the end of the film. Instead of Ozymandias destroying the world with a squid, he used Dr. Manhattan to destroy the world, which kind of sets a different thing. The biggest arguments I heard about that from the hardcore fan base is that Dr. Manhattan is American. He's always been American, and so why did Russia and all the other places not suspect it was an American attack? I mean, I'm
Right.
guessing the logic they're expecting us to use is that he freaked out on TV, but that he's not like he denounced America or anything like that. There wasn't enough
True.
public stuff, so why wouldn't Russia think they just captured Manhattan and used him as a weapon, other than they attacked US? But still, he's a US agent, basically.
That's a really good point. And why wouldn't Nixon have spun it either?
Yeah.
And said that he was now Russia Russian controlled or something, or influenced.
So that was the biggest argument against using Dr. Manhattan. The biggest support of the squid, how ridiculous it is that it was an alien. It was set up as being a
Just
very
completely
external,
neutral.
completely neutral force.
Yes, and
I see.
all humans have to fight
I
him.
understand the current model of using Dr. Manhattan. It was a way cooler fact that CG for the whole explosion's amazing, better than the squid probably would have looked really weird using
I feel
modern
like
technology.
That, and I feel like it's more out of place because at least with the way the movie was carried, it makes
they
more
didn't set
sense.
up aliens at all.
Exactly. It would have been like, wait, what? Like, I feel like the general audience wouldn't have been as accepting. Like, for some reason, like in the graphic novel, like the way it's, for some reason, I feel like I can accept it more. But
Because
like
it's a
the
graphic
movie,
novel.
Yeah.
But I think for the movie, it's like, even though like the fact that Dr. Manhattan exists in that universe is already like against everything we believe in, or like that what real
but
world
they
is.
never set up that he talked about extraterrestrial life or anything.
At least with
so-
John, it was an explained phenomenon versus
Different
with that.
association.
Yeah.
Even though the same
I also
spelling,
feel
you gotta
like-
point out.
Go ahead.
Go Will.
Oh, I was going to say, I also feel like with the graphic novel, there was a lot more garishness, to the writing and things like that. Whereas with the movie, they seemed to really sort of focus on the political climate being the driving factor of a lot of the events of the film.
That's just a
And I think-
2000s thing. That's a post 9/11
Well,
thing.
Right, and I think with that, it kind of sort of sets up that ipso facto of like Dr. Manhattan being the undoing of that American mindset of like, we'll use him as a deterrent for a nuke, and it's like, oh well, we roundabout accidentally nuked ourselves and everything else,
I
Yeah.
see.
but that somehow is the undoing of the political climate itself.
They just
because
didn't
of the
explain it well enough in the movie to
Yeah,
really
And I think-
justify those hardcore fan base.
right. But I also think it's kind of one of those things where, like, in that if you're gonna do it and do it adapted for film, some of those kinds of elements, they have to fall by the wayside or get somehow sacrificed.
Yeah.
So I feel like Manhattan still works as like the scapegoat for that because at the end of the day, he is an entity that is pretty much completely
Neutral.
He is neutral because I guess that's the problem too. Is like we as a viewer see it like his development of like how like he has feelings for someone, like he cares about humanity, then he loses it and leaves. But at the end of the day, he is a entity that can do whatever he wants. So the idea to think that he can be controlled or like, oh, he's American, he will always be American. That's just like, it's just something you kind of like accept or like you make yourself believe that's possible. But at any point he can just do what he wants because he can't be controlled. You can't manipulate him into doing anything. If like,
Right.
because like they present it like Lori as his grounding thing, and that's why he can stay American and be on America's side because she's keeping him psychologically
I feel
stable.
Wally's quote works really well. Because in the movie they show that Wally had his first quote he's we created Superman and he's American,
or he
it's
exists.
God is real and he's American.
Yeah, and he goes back and he changes his own words.
Yes.
to meet
But
the
it's a
narrative.
different actor, so that's what's interesting too in the movie.
Oh,
so it's not
Wally?
actually the same person.
Oh, really?
When the first person that says like Superman exists and he's American, it's a completely different person.
Well, I thought it was they were using his quote, Wally's quote.
See, that's why like I was wondering like if,
That just could be a presentation
because
thing.
that was the thing I saw from CinemaSins because it was like so like he said that, but it's like different person. Like, but at the same time, like when I rewatching the movie, I'm like, you didn't say that in the first place. Like it was a different news person that said it entirely.
Well, maybe in the
I
ultimate
think that's
cut
the
they fixed it.
context of it, though, too, is that it's like they're changing the story to manipulate the plot so that it works out,
Theming. Because basically the main thing that turns all the heroes basically to the villain's side is that they change the story to fit the ultimate need. Literally, the whole plot of the story, as it's revealed, is that the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. Basically,
Well, the
sacrifice
argument of
some
that.
to go. The argument of that, and he basically persuades all the heroes into that thinking.
kill millions to save billions.
Yeah.
Almost the Thanos argument, too, if you think about it.
Kind of.
Yeah.
It's a very similar thing.
For the greater good. And it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
and it's
Same
the idea.
morality
It kind of
trope and-
it just causes like your perception of what morality really is because it's like yes, morally it's right to like let everyone live, but like realistically that's not going to happen. So it's like, do you do this one really bad thing, but then ultimately you save? Because I mean, even at the end of the movie, before the journals like ran supposedly, like from the way it's implied from the movie's ending, the world is better. They have technologies advancing even quicker. Everyone's getting along. There's nothing to report on the news because everyone's peaceful.
It's like the whole theory of Thanos was right. Basically, Thanos did nothing wrong.
So it's the idea. It's like Thanos is the hero of his own story because it's all relative to him. He is the hero because his end goal is to make a sustainable like universe. But
I feel like that's a long running theme in the plot for the movie as well.
All about the energy crisis.
Right.
Okay, so weird thing with the energy crisis. Weird ass note. So, in his office, if you notice the whole time he's talking about how we need to get away from like fossil fuels and oil and stuff, what's behind him in the background?
The Twin Towers?
The Twin Towers. So it's a whole allusion to like the Middle East conflicts and stuff as he's like preaching about like renewable energies and getting away from like oil dependence and stuff. Later on, when the assassin comes up, he's carrying the delivery box. On the side of it, it says, delivering your New World Order, which I think might be a subtle reference to H.W.'s New World Order speech. I don't know. Maybe I read too much into it, but it seemed to have a really strong...
That sounds like that could be implied.
Yeah.
I was like, that sounds plausible.
It was enough to take notes on my phone, and then I was like,
Exactly.
I don't know if I'm overthinking this, like some kind of like high school English teacher, but like...
No, that's a very late 2000s film thing to do.
Yeah.
So,
Well, because you'll have like serious things like that, but then Zack Snyder like did like the little cheeky Easter eggs to his like previous films. So like 300 is referenced 2 times in the movie.
you can actually see a copy of the graphic novel in the film.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
So 3 times. So the first noticeable for me is in the very beginning. It's when a comedian's being attacked by Ozzy, which we don't know yet, but which is also a different actor. It's definitely not him.
He's small. That's something that I was
But like
going
when
to
you
say.
when you see it like in that, it's a different person. It's not him.
No, the Ozymandias killing the comedian?
Yeah, like it's not like in the movie. It's not the same person.
I'm pretty sure it's the same. He's short. Like I saw a frame of the actor playing Ozzy and the comedian next to each other, and like
Maybe
in
just
the
like
book he's
looks
a bit
different
bigger.
enough. Because even like in Cinema Sins, he's like not the same person. So it
don't
might be
know.
a thing where it's like maybe it just looks.
It fooled me if
made
they
him
did.
look. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like during that beginning part, like they throw it's like a vase or a vase or something like into the door.
Vase.
It's
What?
300.
What?
Excuse me?
Hold on now.
Well, take that back a little bit. Let's revisit what you just said. Vase?
What's the right way to say it? Is it
Vase?
Face?
Face?
Yeah.
Well, is I've heard that too.
You've heard Voss?
Yeah, they make great glass bottle waters.
Okay. I mean, I've heard that
Vase.
both ways. I didn't know which one was right. That's why I was correcting myself.
I've never heard the other one.
Never.
No?
No.
No,
I
I've
think the water is Vos.
Yeah, the water is Vos or Vos or
Vos?
what? Yeah,
No.
how
I've heard vase.
You've heard vase?
I've heard that multiple occasions.
tomato.
Yeah,
But I just that's
Vos is
So
another
yeah.
way to say face.
Really?
Okay.
if I find anybody who says potato, I'm gonna punch them. So.
Same,
kind of like
same.
Vos.
You know what?
I mean,
though?
I've
Doesn't
heard it.
Sound like it could be wrong.
All right. I mean, that's not even the point. Just okay.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I mean, it
difference is
definitely
you grow
exists.
moss
Look
in
it
the
up.
vase.
You'll find
you threw the
the
vase
point.
at him, and then you can tell it's a different person.
Well, that's the 300 on the door. That was what I was
Oh,
originally trying to
okay.
get at.
That's the allusion to his other
300
film.
because Zack Snyder, because he made 300.
I see.
And then later on, there's a briefcase that has because they'll have like the little like it's like locking mechanism where you turn the numbers.
300.
300 is on there too, but it's like the way it's done. You see it backwards, so then it's not as obvious.
Oh,
It's not as
it's
prominent.
upside down.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So then
Do you
it's not
guys
as
ever
obvious.
wonder like how much of that is a Zack Snyder thing, or how much of that is like some animator trying to brown nose and get on Zack Snyder's good side?
That's a good point. Yeah, I don't know.
Like somebody like Ted in the animation department was like, "Hey, Mr. Snyder,
Right.
did you see the number on the briefcase?"
And they're like, oh, like keep that.
No,
leave
well,
it in.
somebody had to shoot that briefcase, and who was usually behind the camera, or in directing it?
I guess they had to okay
Ted.
it before they shot it.
Ted, yeah,
From
Ted
animation.
did it. Ted from
from
animation.
animation.
Shit, that dude's everywhere.
He's blown up.
Is he the head of the animation department by this point?
Not
now
yet.
he is, and in 10
So I
seconds
got
he'll be
there,
the
brown
director.
nose.
He's moving at an exponential rate.
Oh my god.
He'll be the head of Fox in about 20 minutes.
Was it the movie done by Fox?
I don't know, but
It's Warner Brothers.
Yeah, I was about to say I thought it was
the head of
because
Warner
it's
Brothers in
DC,
20
but
minutes.
It's owned by DC, so
Wait, what?
Watchmen is technically a
Watchmen's
part
DC.
of the DC universe.
yeah,
That's a tidbit.
it says it on the front of the book.
Yeah.
I don't remember who in the intro, but one of the Minutemen in the intro is shown punching like a robber and like
I think it
around
was Night
two
Owl,
people.
wasn't it?
Was it Night Owl?
Thought
The
so.
whole thing is the
Oh,
illusion is
either
that one of
that
the
or
people in
it's
the intro are saving
Metropolis.
Batman's parents.
Might be
Yeah.
Metropolis.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
kind of.
And that in this DC universe, Batman doesn't exist because the Minutemen came up
And
saved
saved
his
his
parents. That's
yeah,
a whole
I
Easter
remember
egg.
reading that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which is weird because so they have Batman in the background, so it's the idea that he doesn't exist as an actual hero, but it's more of a concept, like it isn't for us.
Yeah,
At least
he's
that's the way I
just he's a
interpret it,
graphic
yeah.
novel.
Yeah, he isn't an actual person where
He's the tale of the Black Freighter.
So also on Batman, real quick too.
All right, we'll finish on Batman.
The fun fact:
Yeah.
Ozymandias' suit is the
Oh.
George Clooney nipple suit ripoff.
Oh.
Ozymandias' suit has nipples.
He's got the
Oh,
nipples
really?
just like Batman with Clooney.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
They're not pointy, but they're circles.
Yeah.
They're like the
I
Goron
mean, if you
nipples.
perceive yourself as a god, do you not show off your nipples?
I mean, you're right.
Here's a question though: did they include the outline for the nipples in anticipation that they would be that shape, definition, and position?
Or do you think that they had to like nipple mold him?
Exact. That's what I'm saying. Is like when he. So like go into the context of the movie.
You
Do you-
imagine?
I didn't think I'd ever hear the words nipple mold.
I never thought I'd hear Voss, and here we are.
How have you never heard that before? Jeez, am I in a bizarro world? I thought it was just commonplace, like people just knew
I'm in
that.
Bizarro World. I've
No,
heard
hold on. Bizarro World is not.
I was about to say, this is a different DC universe, I thought.
I was about to say, I'm like,
Superman?
really? I'm the only person here that's ever heard that said?
No, I've heard Voss.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just like to give you shit.
Yeah, but
Okay,
Will's
just making
not
that
here.
by now.
Oh, no, that's just making sure.
here,
'cause I'm
but
like,
he's
I've
not here.
actually heard that said before.
Well, back to my nipple theory.
Go for it.
So, do you think?
They did not mold it.
Well, exactly. Do you think
I don't
he
think they
actively had a
mold it.
consideration
No.
where he was designing the suit and he's like, please, like, just to avoid?
Nope.
Just said, hey, my nipples are this big.
They're like, they're here.
The
Go.
areola is about this
Oh.
big in diameter.
Okay.
Well, it's also a matter of pectoral mass. So, like, if the actor himself wasn't that buff, then it's kind of like a chest equivalent of a codpiece, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually,
You just stuff it.
his nipples might not even be there.
Stuff it with socks.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. I mean, when you think about it, like, the only one you actually see, it doesn't
I
matter.
don't know how to derail this. Get
I'm
this train
sorry,
back
I'm
on its
sorry.
rails.
I'm not googling this one.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, thank you,
Google,
please,
thank
'cause-
God.
It's such a weird.
Take the wheel,
man.
man.
I don't want that
Pick
there.
up the train
You don't
Put
want to
it
know where
back.
Matthew Goody's nipples are?
No, I don't.
on the
I will survive.
Tales of the Black Freighter here
Okay.
is the next thing I want to talk about.
Yeah, thank you, please.
Gerard Butler finally made it into the movie.
How big do you think Gerard Butler's nipples are?
Jesus. Don't even look at the computer. You are not looking that up.
We've seen that.
We've seen that though.
We've seen that
300, bro.
300. I know.
Oh,
That's true.
I just had to derail your train again real quick.
God damn, I got it on and immediately.
Okay, Black
It's
Freighter.
like a vase full of caramel.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
But yeah, so
It's like a vase full of moss.
and have all of you seen the animated comic or just the people who've seen the Ultimate Cut once?
Just the one time.
I've only seen the ultimate cut.
Okay.
I've seen
John, have you seen the animated comic?
Neither.
I've seen just
But
the-
you've read the comic in the book though, right? The Tales of the Black Freighter.
No.
Oh shit.
I've seen it separated and an ultimate cut.
Okay.
I've seen it in there and the one time in the movie.
Yeah, no, it's very. I honestly like when rereading through the book this last time. I got up to the first part of the Tales of the Black Freighter, and I was just like, "Oh shit, I want to watch this." I remember loving the animated version of it because I have the Ultimate DVD cut, and I've got a separate DVD for just the Tales of the Black Freighter. I have the Ultimate cut where they actually throw it in at roughly the same points they do in the comic book, where you get the story spliced out throughout.
The kid
As
reads
the
the
kids
comic.
read
Yeah, as the kids reading the comic, it's pretty cool. Bernie.
Can I give a hot take on this?
Okay.
Yeah.
Two thoughts. One, as far as the film goes, completely unnecessary.
Oh yeah, totally. That's why it's in the Ultimate Cut. I'm also the type of person who watches the extended cut of Lord of the Rings on a regular basis, so I'm not the average fan here.
Time is not an object to him.
It was the weirdest episode of Metalocalypse I'd ever seen. Honestly, watching it animated like that, that's the only thing I could think of. I was like,
Metalocalypse.
I definitely see what you're talking about there.
God, I forgot about
Like,
that show.
tell me he's not Nathan Explosion.
But he's
He's
eating
the Phantom.
people.
Was he taller
Right.
than a tree? Not a bumblebee.
Our podcast is also sponsored by Little Ox Tech, building cost-efficient websites for businesses, creators, or even podcasts like ours. Little Ox Tech is ready to get the perfect solution ready for you. Visit littleox.tech today to get 33% off if you mention this podcast. Little Ox Tech, a website for your whatever. A bumblebee.
I'm doing the intro, man. Where he's
It's a Squitscar. That's
Yeah, yeah.
a Squitscar. Yeah.
yeah, taller than a tree. Togi, not a
like-
bumblebee.
R/ whoosh.
Right
Yes.
now, sorry guys.
Yeah, that
Straight
took me
over
a
my
second.
head.
When Nathan explode, well, I just think of Metalocalypse Squitscar just playing, just like doing sweeps while he's in the jacuzzi. It just
Yeah. The coffee jingle.
God.
that and
But yeah.
yeah.
That and yeah.
I mean,
That
the
and-
plot
yeah.
of metal is fuck. Oh wait, can we say fuck on here?
Oh,
Yeah.
If we're past 10 minutes.
No, I thought it was only 1 minute.
that was one. Yeah, one.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's what
and
Game
that's
Grumps
the glory of the intro is it eats up at least 30 seconds.
Oh
of
yeah,
the
yeah.
time.
So you can say fuck, yeah.
Absolutely.
It's
All
really
right.
interesting if
Oh,
you go
fuck.
back and watch the videos. The caption thing, like, always catches us when we say fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It'll right here. It's just gonna be a bunch of blink lines.
yeah, yeah.
Fuck.
He's just pushing the
There goes our
limits.
movie deal.
He
I was
said,
about to
oh,
say,
great! There
yeah.
goes Saturday Boys, the movie.
We're never
Right?
gonna get a Zack Snyder cut of the Saturday Boys.
Fuck.
Shit.
No, he's gonna love it.
I want it to be
he
4
wants it.
hours long. That's the time. I haven't seen Batman versus Superman. I might watch the 4-hour cut. Let's go.
4
It's the
hours
shit
of
I go
action.
You
for.
know, between the fucking
I know.
caramel bosses, we might
I
be
won't-
4 hours on this one.
I won't watch Is Batman versus Superman really that bad?
See,
It's
I've
bad,
never seen
bro.
it,
You don't want to.
Okay.
but I heard the Zack Snyder cut's really good.
Well, that's
I didn't
Justice
think it
League.
was
That's
that
not
bad.
Batman versus Superman. That's a difference.
See, with the Zack Snyder, I stopped at Man of Steel. I was like, I'm not feeling it, so I just haven't watched anything past it.
I didn't like Man of Steel. I didn't like Batman versus Superman. I was not big on the new Justice League, but I need to see the Snyder cut because Joss Whedon put a totally different
Yeah, he
more
Joss
com-
Whedon it up.
yeah, dude. I don't know.
I like Joss Whedon, but he Joss Whedon.
I would have
it up.
rather had a Zack Snyder, serious kind of slow mo shots and that kind of cool stuff. But
Yeah, didn't need as many direct to the audience jokes.
yeah, the jokes kill me, dude.
I want to bring us right to two really heavy kind of questions from the movie, just to kind of,
Oh,
just to
okay.
kind
To
Peek it.
just shake the mood,
just,
hit
just
it with
to
a bat.
shake it, just
All
to
right.
just
Where are we
shake
going?
it. First one. Would you boys eat your can of beans unheated?
Yes.
You would.
It's a texture
Yes.
thing.
I eat
Yes,
it unheated. I have
absolutely.
eaten beans unheated. I ate beans unheated the other day, actually.
It's
Throw
actually
some hot sauce in it. I might be able to.
to be honest, I think I did try it because of the movie, because I was like, is that gonna be? It's not that bad.
Yeah.
It's not as good.
I've never done beans, but I've done like Chef Boyardee products.
No, Chef Boyardee
done
is
that too.
forbidden, never referred to back on this podcast again. So back to the beans. How dare you bring up Chef Boyardee in front of me?
Chef Boyardee
Man's
Cole.
love for his Italian pasta gets him.
Yeah, you know, out of a can. Fuck that shit. No,
so
but
sorry.
seriously, Chef Boyardee is an abomination that shouldn't exist.
Okay.
No. SpaghettiOs are damn good if you're not.
No, they're-
you know.
I think
Will-
those are technically
Will-
Campbell's.
Will and John.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All of Chef Boyardee is Campbell's?
No.
No.
SpaghettiOs are Campbell's, not Chef Boyardee. Chef Boyardee has their
But
knockoff.
SpaghettiOs and Chef Boyardee are both abominations.
No, you
been a
can't
hot
look at
minute
Chef
since I had
Boyardee
SpaghettiOs.
products as
You're not gonna
traditional
convince me
Italian
otherwise.
food. It's like Olive Garden.
Yeah. It's like
Did
justifying
you compare
Taco Bell.
Did you compare those to Olive Garden?
Yeah, neither are like authentic Italian. It's like treating
That's
a
true.
Twinkie as a baked good. That's not a
that's very
patisserie
true.
baked good.
I will not disagree with you on that. You're 100% correct.
God.
But also, I will never eat either one of. I will eat Twinkies, but I will not eat Chef Boyardee or SpaghettiOs.
Have
I
you
feel
ever
like
had
we're
either?
gonna have,
have,
some sort of
because they're freaking
weird moment
terrible.
where we see him Shane eating a can of SpaghettiOs. He's just like, "They're so
But
good."
honestly, when I had Chef Boyardee, like I regretted every moment.
I
of it.
have had SpaghettiOs cold.
It's
So-
no, none of that. whether made properly or just out of the can. It's terrible.
So you guys would all eat your shit out of a can, though, if it was cold.
I would eat beans out of a can.
I wouldn't eat my shit out of a can. I'd have to be pretty fucking hungry.
just make that
A man
abundantly
can live on a few
clear.
pints of seawater a day. I've consumed more than that.
Oh,
But yeah,
Takes a
but
bite
definitely
out of the
Rorschach
way.
definitely like glorified having beans out of a can when it's uncooked.
it looked fine.
Why we have beans on the table?
We do. We have as a prop for our video.
It's pinto beans,
Oh,
but
good.
pinto beans are life. Oh, pinto beans.
Oh, okay, what's the other
What's
hot
the
take?
Okay,
Second
second
joke,
question.
John.
Second. Well, not
Joke.
joke.
That was a hot take.
After I say it, you're gonna.
Apparently,
Yeah,
Anthony was
no,
ready
it
to
was-
throw hands over Chef
I'm
Boyardee.
Italian. I'm sorry. Go on. Topic 2.
As long as so am I. I'm good with it.
What?
Come again?
You got super robotic there for a
Turned
second.
into a robot there, dude. I'm sorry. That was really bad.
Oh god.
Are you there with us?
Hello?
Are you still there?
Is there anyone here on this podcast with me?
Hey, I can hear you guys now.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Like the audio clipped and then just dropped.
Yeah, no, it was weird on our end because we just heard you like try to say something and then you like turned robotic and there was just silence.
And then it cut out.
Oh, it's golden.
Oh, that's pretty good.
So topic 2. What's
Topic
the other
2?
thing?
In your guys' opinions, I guess we can go to the heavy debate of the movie. The main theme, was it justified?
The beans?
The beans, yes,
Yes. Rorschach made the right decision.
no. Would you
What's
guys say
Ozymandias' decision?
justified?
And speaking of Ozymandias' decision, the only thing I can think of off of my head were the villain plot. Maybe because I watch a lot of Bond, but that's the best villain end thing, where he's talking to them about his plan.
He calls out, like, do you
Oh,
think I'd
yeah,
really
yeah.
tell you my plan if there's any,
Yeah.
if you had any way of changing the outcome?
I was like,
Only-
I already did it.
Dude, that's like that's a mic drop moment.
Right, he
It's
was just like,
I did it 15
fuck all
minutes
your
ago.
tropes.
And you see it happen in the movie. His all lights up right as they're coming in. It's like, oh shit, he just killed everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
Can I tell you a problem I have with Ozymandias' like end game plan there though?
Okay.
The fact that he had enough research done on Dr. Manhattan to replicate his power, to distribute it globally, to produce like tachyon disruptions so that Dr. Manhattan wouldn't be able to like the dude did his research but didn't understand that like he could just reassemble.
That's true. Like he like set up that trap that clearly wouldn't work. I did have problems
where
with
it's
that.
like that was the linchpin of your entire world plan.
Hold on.
Was like, oh, he's the puzzle that reassembles himself. Oops.
Right.
Nick's
He's
got
referring
the,
to his Bible.
Yeah,
Like,
we got the Bible out.
like-
Hold on.
Right.
we were having a
We had a
little-
study group right before this. We all got our
it
copies of the graphic novel together, and
It was
Right.
cute.
It was.
God, they talk a lot in the comic.
They really do.
yeah.
I like it.
Well,
I
it's
like
kind
the
of how you
development.
sell the. Yeah.
Kind of how
But no, that
Otherwise,
was.
it's just a picture
this
book.
book had me reading a
No, I
lot
agree
of
with you.
words.
No,
though.
it's just-
I had a problem with
It
that
is
too.
his speech is massive.
Right.
I was hoping
Also,
to just
his,
look at the pictures and
His
guess the
genetically
story.
modified lynx is a pretty badass pet.
I know, that just
badass.
appears out of nowhere in
Yeah.
the movie, even
But-
in the ultimate cut.
But that brings more reference to the squid, because in the graphic novel he talks about how he made the squid, because the genetic modification of animals, and then his pet is a known.
Well, I guess
genetically
that's the
modified-
thing. It's like in the movie, it's like I guess it's a good representation in the movies. Most people are like they saw that because they're like, "What the hell is that thing?" So just imagine if they used that as the ending instead for Manhattan being the cause of everything. It would have been even more. So like people are like, "What the hell is this?" Like it would have done. I feel like very poorly if they used that as the reason for the entire world to come together versus it being Manhattan being
Well,
the
that is
catalyst.
straight out of the comic. He does do that. I was like, I don't remember. But no, yeah, he does.
I would agree
says
though
that thing.
too that if they had to set up the entire like backstory of, oh, he also does gene modification research on animals, like it's too many threads to follow for like even a 3.5 hour film at that point.
As I said, like all the quick summaries I found were paragraphs long.
Oh yeah.
Like adding another couple sentences to those paragraphs is like an extra 20 minutes to a movie.
Yeah.
Well, even like
So-
in his like little base in Antarctica, like when he's watching all the screens, like how he says like he made himself like experience like all the death, like all this stuff, like for what he's doing.
That wasn't enough screens, dude.
No, but the idea, like I feel to some degree, I feel like that just from watching like other videos that kind of explain the movie, like what it's like to watch Watchmen. It's like the idea, like there's so much going on because you're getting this backstory, because it's flashing back and forth between all this
It
stuff.
is a multiple
like,
watch movie.
Watching him seeing all the screens, like the cartoons, all these older movies and stuff, like that's very much watching that movie. Not that it's a bad thing so much as in it's hard to take all that in, especially on the first view, because there's so much information that's being thrown at you, because the amount of content in this graphic novel, even for a 3-hour movie, is overwhelming.
Which is
There's
why
so
Alan Moore thought they couldn't do it. There's
Exactly.
too much. It's
And then Zack Snyder said, "Hold my beer."
Right.
basically
It's just like,
pretty much.
Rorschach, you can get everything you need to know about him within like 10 minutes of backstory.
the actor who played Rorschach was actually a super huge Watchmen fan. He actually
Really?
like advocated
Was he?
to play Rorschach. He loved the books before that, so and that's why he puts it like
I
such a
actually
badass and
really like Jackie Earl Haley. In
Yeah.
that role.
Yeah, Jackie
Like,
Earl
I thought he
Haley
was
was really good.
fantastic.
Yeah, Rorschach just absolutely killed it. It was so good.
so good. The whole "you're in here with me" quote.
Oh, God, that was
that
like
was-
literally like, even like
yeah.
for Cinema Wins, watching that, like it was like he says that, it's like, we don't understand. I'm not trapped in, or I'm not stuck in here with you. Or you're stuck in here with me. And it's like best line ever.
Dude, it literally made me like,
It
like I was pulling on my
resonates, like,
chair, like,
you're
and when
like,
he throws the oil on him too, and you're like,
right.
It hurts so bad.
And the scene where like everyone's escaping and he goes through his
The
like
arms,
like
Yeah.
and he just like 2-0 your move. And it's like,
Yeah.
Speaking
you're
of that
such a
prison
badass.
scene, I love the way he kills Mr. Figure.
I was gonna ask, dude,
I love. How do you think he kills him?
Ooh.
What creates all that blood?
that's my question. Is it's like I can't.
I figured it was something with the toilet.
I
don't
think-
know.
I
feel
think
like
he
like
flushed-
Flushes in the
shoved him
toilet and he
down
walks
into the
out.
toilet.
It's just like okay.
I feel like he like just took him and just completely threw him into the toilet like in the most violent way possible. Just like shoved him, give him the worst like swirl you can ever imagine. That would just insta kill you.
Yeah.
The worst swirly ever.
The
Maybe he
worst
smashed
swirl.
his head on the
Yeah.
porcelain on the way into the bowl.
Exactly.
I was
Flushed.
And then it flushed it, and then it just ran all the water or all the blood out.
put the head in.
I feel like he had to involve the toilet to get that blood
Right.
flow.
Yeah.
because,
Exactly.
I mean,
Because with the sink, it would have been.
you're not
it would have
working with
taken
a
some
lot of
time.
volume there.
We need to bring out the forensics team on this one.
We
And where's
Right.
CSI?
That's the thing too. You have
CSI
to think,
Saturday,
like
boys.
how bad it must have really been, because like when you see him right before like the door closes, they're at the far end of the bathroom. So it's like the idea of like you use that toilet. He must have done some absolute
It's also a
carnage with
cool
him.
way it's shot with the door, like
Right.
coming, him getting
Yeah.
closer every
It's
time
so-
the door
it's
opens and
so
closes.
good. It's an aesthetic
It's a
I
good shot.
appreciated.
favorite.
You guys ever seen the movie Shutter Island?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're actually gonna be doing an
no.
episode.
So-
on it.
I really liked him as George Noyce on.
Oh yeah, he is in
Yeah,
that.
he is. Yeah, George
Yeah.
Noyce was fucking. Yeah, he's one for the.
That was
book.
around the same time period, right? That movie came out. It was a
Yeah,
little
it's
later.
Shutter
I think
Island,
so.
2010, if I remember.
Oh yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, and I think that's why I recognize. And I saw him in the movie. I'm like Rorschach.
Well, so you guys,
I had the opposite effect because I had seen Shutter Island years before I saw this
yeah.
one.
same with me.
It
Yeah.
was like, oh, it's George Noyce.
You mean Freddy Krueger?
Yeah.
Oh,
You mean Turk from that episode of MacGyver?
She's gonna list his whole IMDb credits here. Let's go.
Yeah, I pulled it up while
You're
I
welcome.
was mentioning him for sure.
Oh god.
Mainly because he's got one of those names. It's like I want to make sure I'm not saying his name wrong.
I know, right?
You don't
That's
wanna
why
pull a
I
John?
didn't. That's why I didn't even say it.
I'm gonna pull a John and just say every
boss.
celebrity's name wrong. Just
Or how about for Sally and Lori, their like last name is Polish. So that instead
It's not Juniper.
it's not Juniper, or it's not
Jupiter.
Jupiter,
Damn it.
yes.
I fucked up the line.
They intentionally Americanized it. To,
Yeah, because she like in the graphic novel, like so like this
Oh
was
yeah,
not
they don't
recognized as
talk
being
about
Polish.
that in the movie.
Nope, it's completely
Okay, yeah.
not acknowledged at all, and I didn't know about it
Interesting.
to the graphic novel. That's why when I went to pronounce it, I'm like
the
nope.
Polish were a sensitive topic. To
And especially in the 80s.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, so like that
So
was
there's
the
actually a
reason
lot
why
of-
she was
yeah.
labeled Miss Jupiter, because they didn't want that association with being. But then even in the graphic novel, one of the Minutemen members like brings up something about being Polish, and then she shuts it. It's right before the whole really controversial scene between the comedian and Sally.
I can.
The
Yeah.
incident.
Yeah,
Huh.
that was that whole thing. Yeah, but it's only in the graphic novel. Like
And well, yeah,
at least
because
the getting to that point.
yeah,
Like,
Lori was like, "My name is then she says like Chesapeake, or I don't know how to pronounce
I have
it.
no idea how to
But
pronounce
it's like,
it,
yeah, my mom changed it to that just to pretend we weren't that.
Yeah,
she
to
totally
not
like
acknowledge the Polish.
exposition. Which I was reading the graphic novel, and there was like I was reading a line. I forget what it is. It's in the first couple chapters. And I'm like, that's not real dialogue. That's when someone like just spits out exposition, where it's like my brother, who I have known battled with for 5 years. It's like. It's like, hello, my cousin of 5 years, or not. Well, that doesn't work, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Or it's like, oh, that's exposition dumping. Okay, I understand.
Like how I introduced Will on the beginning of
I
this.
was just male, 30 years old.
Kind of, yeah, but that was more of a joke.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
wasn't for,
So funny enough, too, like when Rorschach with the whole like bean scene, like when they go down to the discount Batcave.
Human bean juice.
Yes. That do the whole thing where like for the movie, like CinemaSins kind of calls out that the idea it's like when saying like, oh, the way out is down this way, like through it's like I know, like I remember from when we used to be partners. It's like the whole thing is like, who's this dialogue for? It's like,
Alan Moore.
oh, it's for us, like us the viewer, but it's actually ripped right out of the graphic novel. It's
I was
like
going to say
straight-
Alan Moore wrote that.
Yeah, it's like
That's what I'm saying.
So that's why that was like it was funny, like reading through, and I'm like, oh, that wasn't just like Zack Snyder putting it in to explain.
A lot. Like, I'd probably say at least 75% of the dialogue is copy paste.
Right. Well, yeah.
It is
When I first started
close.
reading it, like I closed it up. I'm like, wow.
Of
Like,
all
I was very impressed, like how much like what Rorschach's journal, like almost word for word, is like straight from the novel right into
It
the
is
movie.
the most like one-to-one adapted thing
Right.
I've ever
And
seen.
I appreciate it because I feel
basically.
like from what I've seen in the movie, like most of that, if not all of it, I really liked. So the idea that it's like all like that it wasn't fabricated, like it's something that already existed,
Which
like,
is
it
why
was
I
so
think
done.
the change in the climax hurt the fan base so much.
True.
Because it was
so
close to being a perfect rendition.
Right.
With just slightly modified. So that's why they just tore into it so hard. And us being kind of more newbers, we didn't care as much.
Right. And I almost think it was a better choice because I feel like that wouldn't have translated as well to the screen.
I wouldn't
It
have
would
liked
have
the
taken an
script.
extra 20 minutes to set up, and in a theater, that's 20 more minutes you have to pee.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Zack Snyder thinking about our bladders.
I would have liked to see what this would look like.
I also made a note about Rorschach's dialogue in the film because, yes, I also appreciated that it was true to the novel, but I also noticed something else they did. At least it kind of seemed like this to me. It wasn't as emphasized in the movie, but Rorschach's dialogue to other characters becomes more like the phrasing he uses in his journals throughout the plot progression. And you kind of notice that too. He starts dropping certain words and things like that, like almost speaking like in shorthand towards the end of the film.
I know.
He's just getting
Kind of
so...
does a similar thing as he becomes more engaged.
Yeah, but he
towards
gets
the
more
end
and more
of the
engaged
novel.
into the story, and he's getting like more and more into it, and it's like he's a very troubled person, obviously. But
They all are.
well,
That's also another thing that I found very interesting.
there's
about
no
them.
redeemable characters.
No.
No.
And they
With-
all sort of either have like their shortcomings
When the
Like,
most
in a
redeemable,
passive sense, or go ahead.
yeah, so when the most redeemable character, in my opinion, is a mask-wearing vigilante who murders people on a regular basis,
Yeah, indiscriminately.
who will always hold to his best, because Rorschach doesn't make it to the end of the film.
Nope.
Everyone else sides with the villain. Rorschach is the only one to hold strong on the hero's side at the end.
Well,
Even
that
in
brings
the
me
face
up
of Armageddon,
to my
never
question.
compromise.
Was it what do you guys think? Was it a good choice or?
Well, we also haven't seen the sequel series. None of us have watched HBO Watchmen yet. We're going to do an episode on it eventually. Brandon
like
did
to.
a little bit of research on it,
I
so
know
he knows a little bit about it. But
I know what. Do you guys know the plot of it at all?
basically, the Rorschach's journal gets out and creates like a cult of people against Veidt's new utopia, basically, right?
Yeah, and it's 30 years later.
30
so
years
you're
later. It takes
seeing-
place, okay.
Yeah, so the characters that are still in it are Dr. Manhattan, Veidt, and then Sally.
Okay. Not Lori or Sally?
Lori.
Lori,
My
okay.
bad. I was
I was about to say, Sally's still in it.
The
Damn.
younger subsection.
Golden Girl's going here.
She acts more like
Like Sally, because she's older.
no, not necessarily. She acts more like the comedian.
Oh, shit.
Because
Well,
that's
makes
her
sense.
dad.
Boom.
Oh.
So she ends up being a hero hunter.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, that's kind of
Okay, yeah, we will eventually get into that, but
Yeah.
with the whole Rorschach is like the most like person who gives up his life for the fight, basically, because he
Right.
won't
He won't
He won't
compromise.
abandon his morals, yeah.
So
So I guess that's
Yeah.
the thing. What do you think was right? Like, so Rorschach does die because he won't give in. He feels like the world needs to know the truth, so then he dies because of it. Do you think Rorschach was right, or do you think Ozzy and then Manhattan decision to let the fake reality happen for the greater good? Who was right?
well, what's interesting is what movie came out the year before this?
Probably a lot of them.
The Dark Knight.
Oh.
Oh,
What was the ending of The Dark Knight?
that same.
The same exact plot of like Batman has to take the fall, so Harvey Dent didn't do all this stuff. You know, it's like the super
because Harvey Dent need to be seen as more of a hero, not as a villain.
similar type, like
Oh, wow.
the
I
greater
didn't even
lie.
think about
And that's
that.
what
Wow.
created that act. That's yeah.
Yep. So it was a big parallel I saw.
I think you can't hold Manhattan and Ozymandias, whatever.
Ozymandias.
Yeah.
Yeah, void in the same light though. And here's my argument for why. It has to do with how they came to the situation. Whereas Ozymandias crafted the situation, Manhattan, in his lack of like a humanity approach to understanding things, was presented with the situation. He was never like a party to it until it had already come to fruition.
Yeah, he was blind to Veidt's true plan until the tail end.
True.
Right. So I don't think you can analyze his reaction to the situation the same as you can kind of like hold fight or whatever accountable for crafting.
That's true.
No, but he still held.
Because I think
I
if
guess
you
Manhattan. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think if you withdraw like a humanitarian sense from, you know, how you evaluate what his plan was, Manhattan's perspective totally makes sense. And that's kind of also a running theme of the movie and of the graphic novel, is in their own minds, everybody is acting in what they think is the right. Like all the way back down to like the original
Minutemen.
you know, mass vigilantes, the Minutemen.
They took up the
They're
mask.
all doing they're all doing what they think is the right way to go about doing it, because there isn't really any sort of like textbook way to do any of what they're doing.
Yeah.
That's kind of life.
You all think
Exactly.
you're doing what you're... Wow, that got deep.
The deep
I
boy.
think,
The deep boys.
well, I think there's a lot of depth to the psychology of the story, which is why I think, you know,
That's why it's endured.
What?
That's why we're doing an episode on it.
Right.
yeah, exactly. I mean,
Great
that's
talking
also part of
points.
the reason why I feel like Alan Moore probably had such a hesitation to this ever being adapted for screen, is because how do you accurately capture that when you know,
one-to-one
cinema
it.
of the time is so much more based on like who can make the biggest explosion or the coolest graphics effects. It's like,
Yeah,
well,
I'm
how
glad
do you
Michael
set,
Bay
you know,
didn't
a
end up.
psychological thriller with the background of this story to film?
Yeah, I think this is probably definitely my favorite Zack Snyder film.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
me
would
too.
say.
Oh, hands
Hands
down.
down.
That's why, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure for me.
So I think for Dr. Manhattan's like point of you like realizing everything that's going on when he makes the decision to vaporize Rorschach, I guess the way I kind of look at it too is like Dr. Manhattan kind of like got a little bit more humility, kind of got like was more grounded again from Laurie from the conversation on Mars. I guess the thing I think too is like Manhattan has no stake in it. Like no matter how things go, he's gonna survive. It doesn't matter to him at the end of the day. So I think the fact that like his interpretation of the situation is completely unbiased because it doesn't matter to him either way. So like for him to be so quick to like side with Ozzy, I think kind of goes to show that like when you take complete emotion out of it and you just think of it rationally, like what's actually the better situation, and you don't put any emotion, you just think logically, I think that's why it works out the way it does, because that's arguably the best outcome, but you're always morality's going to get in the way because you don't want people to die. But unfortunately, for the greater good, it's an inevitability within that realm or within that universe. Like it's going to happen. Either you have billions die or you have millions. You have to take your pick. Like you're not gonna You can't have your cake and eat it too.
You can have Dr. Manhattan destroy parts of cities that can be rebuilt. Or you can have nuclear fallout happen and be in the Fallout universe for the next 500 to 1,000 plus years.
Well, even in the movie, they said, like, even if Dr. Manhattan can stop 99% of them, the 1% is enough to take out pretty much the entire world.
Yep.
It's like the idea. It's like there's gonna be bad no matter, but you just got to choose. Do you want to have the lesser of two evils, or just do the right thing and then you just lose pretty much everyone? Like the right thing will just kill everyone.
Right. Something I thought was interesting as well is that that quote of Manhattan not being able to stop that 1% of it was from Ozymandias.
True.
Was that a bit of allusion to what his plan was?
Yeah.
Because he also talks about like the targets for the potential like nukes going off.
LA, New York, Moscow, Hong Kong.
And then these are all the targets that later on he ends up hitting.
Right.
Yeah.
So I guess the idea is like it's a fabricated idea because it's instilled in your brain from the person perpetrating it.
As a quote from this movie, man, I don't understand this shit.
Yeah.
It's surprisingly complex.
Is that in the normal version where he's reading the comic, or is that just in the ultimate cut where he's?
I think it's the ultimate cut because I don't remember that.
Okay, yeah. So in the ultimate cut, he's reading the Tales from the Black Freighter, and then the kid Bernie's just like, at the end, he closes it and he's like, "Man, this shit don't make sense."
Yeah, I like his reaction to it because it's very much what I felt about like why it wasn't included in the film.
Yeah, it's a very much.
I was like, man, Bernie, I get you. We're on the same page.
So this is the first time I watched this movie, and I just haven't comprehended all the shit going on in it.
So with the question, the big dilemma, I think absolutely not. And I think the reason why is for the same reason we're afraid of artificial intelligence.
Oh yeah, the Terminator will happen.
Exactly. We'll be deemed obsolete in the same way that Manhattan without emotion was so cool with just letting so many people die.
It's like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Kill like 8 of the biggest cities in the world. Everyone else can work. Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah.
It's like AI. Oh yeah, if I kill half the planet, the other half will survive.
Well, it's like the car here in Phoenix.
Equivalent exchange,
You guys have seen those self-driving cars, the Waymo, I think they're called, or whatever?
Yeah, the terrifying little cars.
That was one of the first incidences, actually, where artificial intelligence ran into that decision, was actually here in Phoenix. It ran over someone in a crosswalk because it decided if it was going to stop, it was going to cause a pileup accident that could have caused more injuries. So it decided to actually hit someone.
I remember that.
So it's like the whole train track thing.
Right.
Exactly. But it was the first test of if...
/ the iRobot movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's a whole nother bag of worms.
It's a whole nother episode.
In a really
Sorry,
roundabout
Jack's right
way,
there.
no, that no is my answer to that question.
No.
Even the Good Place touches on that too.
Of course, the
The
trolley
needs
problem.
of the many versus the needs of the few.
Right.
Well, that's a Batman thing.
Well, no, that's a
I'm just giving you
old
shit.
argument. I think that's like Greek, philosopher thing.
Well, the whole quote of "Who watches the Watchmen" is from
It's Roman, I believe.
Is really old Roman philosopher or something.
Which goes back again to that guy's...
Yeah, like Juvenile or something like that. It's like, oh, that was an actual philosopher name or something. Yeah.
What are your guys' takes on that?
God, about the end of the movie?
Oh, no, just
or not the end, the decision. Would you go? You said no, you wouldn't ultimately go for the decision. Yeah, I'd have to probably side with Rorschach.
Yep.
As the world has to know. That's just insane. Like, it's just we're setting the world up on a lie. Even The Dark Knight Rises, it shows how easily something like that can fall apart. Like, it's not sustainable in the long run.
Yeah.
But we say that not being masked vigilantes with superpowers, large amounts of wealth, and living in a world where Nixon is on his 5th term. We're also very much not children of the Cold War age. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
But we are children of the fallout of the Middle East conflicts, which were also present in the movie and displayed.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that was a way to like bring a sort of like that past into a present mindset. But I mean, for my money, I feel like if I was Ozymandias, the decision makes sense. It's a dark decision, but it worked.
It did work. That's the thing where you kind of have to look at it like, I mean, if it didn't work and he killed a bunch of people and then like the world was worse,
right? Or if it
then
just like
he
stayed on the
definitely
same
fucked
track.
up. But like the fact that the world gets better, I don't know. That kind of puts it on that tipping point where it's like,
Brandon, you're a yes.
I'm a maybe. I mean,
You're a
that's
maybe.
that's where I'm saying like
We'll see where the sequel goes.
Well, it ultimately, like he
Don't
said,
you
it
dare.
depends on the outcome of it, but it is built on like a lie, though, is the
Yeah.
thing. So it could crumble, but like the fact that it did work and that they show that it worked and that things did get better, it's hard to argue that, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like that same comparison is echoed in Dr. Manhattan's statement about how, like, when he's on Mars and he's talking to
Lori.
about, like, you know, how out of something awful comes something beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, because
That kind of sets that kind of like predicates his acceptance of like, this is an awful situation and world peace will come out of it.
Mm-hmm.
From the ashes of this outcome will grow the flowers of tomorrow.
Yeah, pretty much.
I also think
Why would it be
that
mad at Eddie when
it's
he gave me you?
Mm-hmm.
I also think it's kind of evident in, you know, whether or not it was the correct decision. I don't think it was a good decision. I think it was the correct decision
Mm-hmm.
because he, in the story, I mean, in the movie, not in the graphic novel, obviously, but it becomes his undoing, this plan. So he ultimately dies at the hand of like his plan coming to fruition, even though the world itself is safe. And that's kind of a setup like classically in a lot of stories that, you know, if the person that has to make the tough decision chooses the right decision, they usually die from that decision.
Yeah.
It's like the anti-hero kind of stuff.
So you'd be a yes?
I would be a strong maybe leaning towards yes.
That's where I'm at.
Strong maybe leaning towards yes.
Nick, what do you?
I mean, for the sake of world peace, who can argue against peace?
I don't know. Just like with the world we're at now, it's. I just don't think it would last. Like, yeah, it obviously works and everything. The movie shows that it worked for a while until the sequel series happened, which we don't know exactly what takes place in it, but
Right.
it's just it's rough. Like if I knew. Like, if I was a bystander and I didn't know what happened, like if I didn't witness the events of the movie, and I was just a bystander in the world and all of that, I would totally be down for everything, having the world be better. But if I was with Rorschach, cursed with the knowledge that it was like done on this, it would be hard to argue because it would be such a utopia, but it would just feel wrong the entire time.
Well, that's the other half of it too, is that, you know, if we do have Rorschach, we have his knowledge. Obviously, we are committed to revealing that truth.
Yeah.
So it's a catch-22 where it's like, if you know why you're happy, you don't want to be happy. But if you don't know why you're happy, you live in that ignorant bliss.
Yeah, ignorance is bliss.
Anthony, what say you?
Honestly, I keep going back and forth, but I think objectively, I feel like it is the right thing to do. Like, just completely taking out, like, weighing kind of both, like, knowing the actual truth of the situation and not knowing, just completely objectively, I feel like it's the right thing to do because the events of the TV show only happen because the idea that Rorschach's journal gets out. So if you eliminate that, and then you eliminate Dr. Manhattan, any of the people that were involved ever revealing what actually happened.
It's such a cool open ending, though.
Right. So, like, I feel like objectively, I feel like it's the right decision just because the idea that the outcome is better than the alternative to where it's a constant, never-ending cycle of violence and death.
Right.
Just because eventually you're going to get to the same amount of deaths, if not more, continuing that other cycle, even though it might be, you don't compromise, because that's the thing is like that's why Rorschach is a close second for me, because like that ideology of just like always doing the right thing, never compromising, I feel that I can completely accept that as like that's the way you should live your life. But in a situation like that, when you have the potential of actually getting world peace, when it's like that's such a fabricated idea that there's no way to ever reach it, when you actually have the potential of getting there,
don't throw it away.
It's so hard to say no, even though it's not 100% the morally right thing to do. But it's like you have to think it's making a self-sacrifice.
So even if it's predicated on a lie.
Yeah, exactly. Because everyone else, they're ignorant to this, because ignorance is bliss. They don't know that it's built off a lie, but there's peace. That ultimately you have a better world because of it. So even though like there was the origins of it's not the best thing, but the alternative I feel like is worse than what you get from that. If no one ever spoils and makes it revert back to what it was, because then if that's an inevitability that it will revert back, then there's no point to go there in the first place.
So what I've learned is that none of us should be ever given the ability to be supervillains, because we totally
I don't think
snap.
I don't think Nixon should get 5 terms.
No, exactly. Even 3 terms.
Did you hear Ronald Reagan's running for president? Who was a cowboy in the office, dude?
I think they were talking about Reagan's film.
God,
because he used to play in a lot of like cowboy movies. And stuff.
He was an actor for the whole 50s. Yeah. So yeah, it was great. I hearing that line, it's like, it's so funny.
Boys, are we?
I think we're about good to call it on this episode of the Saturday Boys. We discussed who our favorite Watchmen are. If we will destroy the world, which probably sorry.
World, if it's up to the Saturday Boys, we're probably killing you.
Yeah, don't let us be.
But for the greater good.
Yeah, be for everybody else though. But.
I'll try to run away to let you guys know. What
just don't be in those major cities and that we mentioned, and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Eat your beans. Be happy.
Yeah. Heat it up or not.
God. Throw some hot sauce in there at least.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, can't hurt.
So I hope you guys will watch the Saturday Boys.
Yeah.
Who watches the Saturday Boys? We hope you, and we hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And as our little chant on whether destruction of everybody is morally right or not. So thanks everyone for listening on in, and I hope you have a good rest of your Saturday. Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you for joining us, Will.
Yeah, thank you, Will, for joining us in.